The Ride Beyond the Gates. The next morning, the sun broke through the misty skies of the fairy kingdom. Birds sang above the castle spires, and the golden banners fluttered in the wind. Mix stepped out into the courtyard, still replaying last night's confession in his head. Sophia's smile lingered in his memory like the warmth of sunlight. Suddenly, a familiar voice called out from behind. "Sir Mix." He turned to see Princess Clara, dressed in silver riding armor, her golden hair tied in a loose braid. Her white stallion pawed the ground restlessly beside her. "Would you care to join me?" she asked with a charming grin. "I want to show you our kingdom. My sister spoke much about your bravery." Mix hesitated. "Does Princess Sophia know?" "She's attending the council this morning," Clara said quickly, eyes glinting with mischief. "Come on, it'll be fun." He smiled faintly and mounted his horse. "All right, lead the way." They galloped beyond the castle gates, across emerald hills and crystal streams that glowed faintly with magic. Villagers waved as they passed. The sound of hooves echoed like thunder. Clara's laughter carried in the wind. "So," she called over the rush of air, "what were you doing in the fairy realm? You don't seem like an ordinary traveler." Mix smiled faintly, eyes on the horizon. "I wasn't there by accident," he said. "Princess Sophia was lost beyond the veil between worlds. I found her and made sure she returned safely home." Clara's expression softened. "You risked your life for her?" He shrugged lightly. "It wasn't about risk. It was about doing what's right." She looked at him for a moment, admiration flickering in her gaze. "You're different, Mix. Most men would have turned back." He smiled. "Maybe that's why I didn't." Before she could reply, his horse suddenly reared. A low growl ripped through the air. From the tall grass emerged a pack of wolves. 5 of them, their eyes glowing faintly blue, fur bristling with shadow. "Clara!" Mix shouted. Her horse panicked and bolted. Clara screamed as she lost balance and fell hard to the ground. Mix jumped off his horse just as it was dragged down by 2 wolves. The wolves lunged. Mix grabbed a broken branch and swung it like a staff, striking one across the snout. Another leapt from behind. He spun, driving his elbow into its ribs, then kicked it away. The 3rd wolf snapped at his leg, but Mix rolled aside, seized a stone, and hurled it with such force it cracked the beast's jaw. Blood and rain mixed in the dirt. Lightning shimmered faintly across Mix's crescent mark as he clenched his fist. "Not today," he growled. The remaining wolves circled him, snarling. Mix ducked low, snatched the fallen branch again, and channeled a burst of golden energy through it. The strike split the branch in half, but the shockwave sent the last 2 wolves sprawling into the mud. They whimpered, then limped back into the forest. Breathing hard, Mix turned to Clara. She was clutching her ankle, trembling. "Clara, are you hurt?" "My foot. It's twisted," she winced. Mix tore a strip from his own shirt and carefully wrapped her injury. "This should hold until we return." She looked at him surprised. "You're kind. You didn't even think twice to help me." He smiled faintly. "Guess it's just how I was raised." Thunder rumbled overhead. The first drops fell. Within minutes, rain poured hard and cold. "Come on," Mix said. "We need shelter." They found a small cave near a cliffside. Inside, Mix built a fire using dry bark and a spark of magic from his crescent. Warmth filled the air. Clara watched him curiously. "You can control light," she whispered. "Just a little," he replied modestly, feeding the flame. As the rain roared outside, they talked about the human world, the stars, and their favorite foods. Clara laughed for the first time that day. Then her stomach growled loudly. Mix stood up. Stay here. I'll find something. He returned a while later, dripping wet, but smiling, holding a handful of forest fruits. Clara's eyes softened. You didn't have to. Couldn't let a princess starve, he said with a grin. She giggled, cheeks flushing. You should take off your shirt before you catch a cold. Mix shrugged off his soaked tunic. His muscles glistened in the firelight. Clara looked away quickly, flustered. I didn't mean— Never mind. He chuckled. It's fine. By late afternoon, the rain eased. Mix helped Clara stand. Can you walk? Barely, she said, leaning on him. But with your help, I can manage. They walked through the misty woods until the royal guards found them. Princess Clara, Sir Mix, the captain cried. They were escorted back to the palace. Inside, Sophia rushed forward, relief flooding her face. Where were you? She said, hugging her sister first, then glaring softly at Mix. I'm sorry, Mix said quietly. It wasn't planned. At dinner that evening, the king listened silently as Clara told the story. His stern face softened when she described Mix's bravery. For the first time, his eyes held respect. Later, Sophia walked Mix back to his chamber. I'm sorry for worrying you, Mix said. Sophia smiled gently. The important thing is you're safe, both of you. She paused, eyes flickering with something unspoken. Good night, Mix. Good night, Sophia. As the door closed, Mix looked out his window toward the dark horizon. The crescent mark glowed faintly once more, signaling that destiny had only just begun to stir.